Hello everyone, and welcome to my Duel Today official news channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Sloane awakens to Eric in the medical clinic. She says she had a terrible dream that she lost the child. His voice breaks as he tells her it was anything but a fantasy. Kayla goes along with them as Sloane separates. Kayla makes sense of that Sloane has an immune system problem that possibly caused the unsuccessful labor. At the point when Kayla lets them be, Sloane cries that she's being rebuffed. At the point when he says God doesn't work that way, she shouts, "Your valuable God took our child for the choices that I've made." Eric fails to really see the reason why she would merit discipline. How did you respond? Sloane streaks back to guaranteeing Eric doesn't figure out EJ's not the dad of Nicole's child. In bed, EJ frightens Conscious from a fantasy about Ava and Susan's vehicle going off the bluff. After he dresses, EJ derives to Nicole that his bad dreams are because of his powerlessness to retaliate for his mom's passing. There's no equity in Ava staying in a comfortable mental emergency clinic. Nicole doesn't believe Ava's faking it. In any case, Ava and Xander are fit as a fiddle while his mom was shipped off an early grave. The bad dreams will keep on tormenting him until they get what they merit. In Bayview, a panicked Ava lets Harris know that Susan has resurrected. She sees a glaring Susan shaking her head at her. Harris tells her that is not Susan. Ava approaches a lady, Midge, with dull hair and glasses like Susan's. Ava asks Susan to let her be. She lurches for Midge, yet Harris pulls her away. Ava cries that she merits Susan's discipline. Harris urges Ava to look once more. Ava sees Midge cringing against the wall. Ava cries, dreading she'll at absolutely no point ever be well in the future. After Ava's quieted down, Harris muses that recovering psychological wellness is definitely not a straight line. Perhaps she simply needs her drugs changed. Ava doesn't know anything will help her. She fears she's serious. Harris is aware of a therapist who can assist her with liberating of judgment, Dr. Marlena Evans. Roman pours espresso for Marlena at the bar as they examine Victor. Marlena realizes he caused a ton of disorder and trouble, yet he made the spot seriously fascinating. They toast to Victor and the individuals who cherished him. Marlena raises Eric's commitment. Roman communicates scorn, driving her to call attention to that Sloane is having their grandkid. Roman misses utilizing his grandfatherly abilities. Marlena proposes they toss a child shower for them. Roman passes, reviewing how Sloane offended his shellfish chowder. She may be having his grandbaby, and she could try and wed Eric, yet that doesn't mean he needs to take care of or like her. Melinda lurks out of a resting Lee's bed to look for evidence interfacing him to Stefan's endeavored murder. She looks at his telephone as he awakens. "Oh," she says. She thought it was her telephone. They talk about their evening and morning together and kiss once more. He begins to strip her, yet she needs to get to the town hall. While Melinda scrubs down, he sees his telephone, considering what she's doing. In the lounge room, Tripp converses with Kayla on the telephone. At the point when she allows him the 3-day weekend, he asks after Sloane and for what valid reason she lost the child. Melinda emerges. Sloane lost the child. After he hangs up, Tripp tells the DA he can examine Sloane's condition. "Tuman," she says, "you Salamu specialists abuse HIPAA more than you change your cleans." She heads out to converse with Sloane herself. Pause. He shouts after her, "You shouldn't be aware." In their room, Nicole desires EJ to let his retribution go. Susan would believe he should choose not to retaliate. At the point when he rejects her, Nicole reminds him they are arranging a wedding and ought to be in their vacation stage. EJ jokes he can zero in on his lady of the hour while wiping out hazardous sociopaths simultaneously. At the point when Nicole objects, he moans, it isn't ideal to concur the timing. She advises him to go to the town hall for their marriage permit while she goes to the emergency clinic for her solution. At Bayview, Ava tells Harris she did a truly messy things to individuals Marlena thinks often about, incorporating laying down with her significant other. Harris essentially gags on his water. Additionally, she made their dearest companions, Steve and Kayla's lives damnation. She was likewise answerable for the plane accident that killed Marlena's previous father by marriage, and afterward she exploded a congregation with Marlena in it. Harris concurs that is a great deal, yet he has likewise done horrendous things to her friends and family, and doctored in any case, Evans has been helping him. Since Marlena treated the Bowdy executioner, Ava advises Harris to take himself out and call her. Via telephone at the bar, Marlena consents to meet with Harris. She requests that Roman tell Eric they've chosen to give them a child shower. "We have?" Roman inquires. "We have," Marlena announces, smiling. Roman laughs and takes out his telephone. Sloan begins to tell Eric something at the medical clinic, yet Kayla's return hinders them. Kayla lets Sloan know that her condition is treatable, yet not repairable. Sloan stresses over future pregnancies. Eric urges her to zero in on her recuperation and passes on to get back to Roman. Melinda visits Sloan, who is horrified she heard Tripp discussing her unsuccessful labor. At the point when Melinda says how sorry she is, Sloan glares. "Is it true or not that you are, Melinda? Might it be said that you are so heartbroken?" "Obviously she is," Melinda says genuinely, emphasizing that she's being rebuffed. Sloan announces she will come clean with Eric about Nichols' child. Melinda doesn't figure she ought to do that. In the clinic hall, Eric calls Roman. He attempts to inform his father concerning the child. However, Roman continues forever about the shower. Nickel ventures off the lift as a sad Eric yells, "Father, you don't have any idea. There can't be a shower." His voice brings down as he says Sloan lost the child. Leif finds Tripp getting ready for a run at the condo. He priggishly apologizes for how noisy he and Melinda were. Tripp inquires as to whether he's allowing her a subsequent opportunity. Leif says they'll see. After Tripp leaves, Lee's grin drops as he takes out his telephone. While running, Tripp chances upon EJ in the square. They expeditiously quarrel over Ava. Tripp harshly pronounces that EJ will simply need to manage it when his mom is at long last let out of Bayview. He runs off. EJ glares. "We'll see about that." At Bayview, Harris leaves the local area space to chat with Marlena. Susan lurks up to Ava's ear. She insults that nobody can help her until she begins coming clean. Days of Our Lives spoilers uncover that Sloan Peterson breakdowns. It is proposed that Sloan could lose her unborn child. Assuming that occurs, Sloan could fault Melinda Trask for coming down on her. That could prompt Sloan uncovering Melinda's plan for Lai Shin, as well as Abe Carver and Polina Value's political fix-it plan. Dual spoilers uncover that Melinda went to Sloan with an interest. Melinda reminded Sloan that she owed her for maintaining the mystery about Nickel Walker's child. Melinda required Sloan to address Lee. Melinda additionally enlightened Sloan concerning Abe getting back to office so he can dole out Polina to have his spot. From the start, Sloan didn't have the foggiest idea about why Melinda maintained that her should address Lee. Then, at that point, Sloan, out of nowhere, drawn an obvious conclusion. In any case, Sloan won't surrender to Melinda's coercion. All things considered, Sloan set some hard boundaries and proclaimed she would admit to Eric Brady for a brief time. Intruded on admission. In any case, as fans see this week, Sloan begins to come clean with Eric. Then, at that point, Sloan abruptly falls. A photograph in Drama Overview magazine shows Sloan lying in an emergency clinic bed wearing a clinical outfit. Eric is close by, and Sloan looks stressed. It is indicated that Sloan could lose the child. Abe Carver's political fix-it plan. Days of Our Lives spoilers uncovered that while Sloan is going through her pre-birth emergency, Abe is chipping away at getting once more into office. While Abe and Polina's arrangement may be loaded up with well-meaning goals, it is plainly ill-fated. In addition, what happens now that Sloan could lose the child? Sloane could search for somebody to fault. Since Sloane was worried about admitting to Eric, she could fault Melinda for compelling her into that position. Sloane Peterson's attempt at finger-pointing. Sloane could utilize Abe and Paulina's political fix-it plan against Melinda. Obviously, Sloane could see a greater payday by focusing on the city chairman straightforwardly. In the event that Sloane takes steps to uncover Abe and Paulina's arrangement, it will plainly fizzle. Be that as it may, Sloane's fury will be misled assuming she goes this course. Ideally, Sloane has developed as a person enough to find fault where it should be, on herself. What do you believe will occur after Sloane breakdowns? Will Sloane lose the child and refuse to accept responsibility for the issues at hand? Will Sloane target Melinda, which could prompt Abe and Paulina's plan being uncovered? What will this mean for the whole town of Salem? Share your contemplations in the remarks segment beneath. Make sure to continue to watch The Cleanser on Peacock to figure out what occurs straight away. Thanks for watching if you liked this video. So please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.